Hello and welcome to the NFL Injury Report podcast. I'm Big Italy 42 here talking about some key injuries courtesy of Zach Scott Moxie on Twitter. And starting off with this top one here, reports early this morning, it's Monday morning, looking like it's not quite as serious as anticipated. But Rob Gronkowski, a right knee injury, was carted off the field. 6 for 88 in the score before he went down. As Zach mentioned here, they don't think it was serious. Looks like he will probably only miss one game. They're saying he may not even miss the one game. So more one of those ones was a precaution. Looks scary. The Patriots coming off that loss to the Broncos. If they had lost another key player there in Rob Gronkowski, that could have spelled big trouble for them moving forward. But looks like he's going to be all right. Maybe he ends up sitting out 1 week. If he does, Scott Chandler, 2,500 on DraftKings, 53 on FanDuel. A nice guy to slot in there as a filler, as you know Tom Brady loves to use his tight ends, so that'll help you out there if Gronk sits. Next up, Tony Romo broke his collarbone again. He didn't look good beforehand either. Threw 3 interceptions, and Cowboys season is done. I mean, it was already done anyway. Romo thought that they had a shot, and I mean, technically they did, but this was a situation where this season was a lost cause anyway. So you're going to see Matt Castle back under center once again, facing off against the Redskins. And this is just an easy situation to avoid. You can throw maybe a tournament, a Des Bryant or something if you're feeling crazy. But I want no part of that Cowboys offense as is. Maybe Darren McFadden, but the passing attack, no thanks for me right now. Jimmy Graham, torn patellar tendon, out for the season. And the worst football player injury you could possibly have, as Zach says here. It's been a death sentence for NFL players before, and Victor Cruz has had that injury, hasn't come back yet. We're going to see Luke Wilson stepping in to this tight end role, and Doug Baldwin looks like the guy who is going to be stepping up in a big way in the passing game, as Jimmy Graham was not quite used anywhere near what he was in New Orleans this season anyway. But that's a big weapon gone from that Seattle attack. So Doug Baldwin coming off a 3-touchdown game last night. Absolutely huge moving forward. So looks like Russell Wilson, he still have some really great rapport, and pretty big loss, though, for the Seahawks there. Next up, Allen Hurns, concussion, stretched it off the field and looked like it could have been much, much worse than it really was. Fortunately, it's just a concussion. He's going to be out for at least 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. One guy's going to step up, see some more snaps, as Zach points out here, is Marquise Lee. 3,000 on DraftKings, 58 on FanDuel. They're facing off against the Titans next week, and Marquise Lee's not a guy that you're rushing out to target. You're going to be more looking towards Allen Robinson, but this is still a pass-first attack, and as we saw in the red zone last week, or this week, I guess I could say, they had no desire to run the football in the red zone. So if that continues, you're going to see pass, and going to be plenty to go around. So Marquise Lee could be a nice GPP dart there. Ben Roethlisberger now, concussion. In the fourth quarter, had 456 yards. We'll see if he passes concussion protocol before next week against the Colts. We know he's always a top option when he's playing. It's going to be a primetime game. Coming off the loss to Seattle. Team now 3 games back in the AFC North. They need to win every game they can right now. Landry Jones will get the start, of course. Seemingly every couple weeks, it's Ben goes down, Landry starting, and if he can't go, you got Landry Jones, who's been okay there, but guys like Antonio Brown going to see a big hit there, and Colts playing for a lot there as well, so that's going to be a big game. Hopefully for the Steelers' sake, Ben Roethlisberger can come back this week, but that will definitely remain to be seen. Chris Johnson for the Cardinals and Andre Ellington for the Cardinals. Both those guys left the game with injuries. They both look like they're going to be out for quite some time. And Chris Johnson was having a throwback season, 814 yards, 3 scores. Ellington had been demoted down to the 3rd string, but was finally starting to look better. And now we're looking at David Johnson, who has been good. I mean, he's got 8 touchdowns. He's been solid when he's gotten the ball, but obviously it's been an attack where you've been spreading it around. And I mean, when you got a wealth of running backs, that's a good way to go. But David Johnson going to step into a big prominent role here. Unfortunately for him, they're facing the Rams next week, so not likely to see a whole lot of running room in that front 7 anyway. But David Johnson's a guy that can get some work done in the passing game as well. So definitely a guy that you want to give a look to at 3,400 on DraftKings, 59 on FanDuel. Next up, Jeremy Hill, ankle injury. Left early with an ankle injury. was hobbled a little bit. Then he came back. Then ended up leaving the game with an ankle injury late in the fourth quarter. And Bengals don't seem too concerned about it early, but he was looking good. And Gio Bernard, though, is the guy who's stepped in and has been very good in the touches that he has gotten. So I don't think this is too big of a concern here, as it doesn't look like it's a significant injury. And the Bengals playing the Browns this week. So if Gio Bernard gets all the touches against the Browns, if Jeremy Hill can't go, he's going to be a very popular play, and rightfully so. That Browns defense is just awful against the run. So that's your injury recap for Week 12. Moving into Week 13. Find us on Twitter at DF Cafe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out the rest of our great content at dailyfantasycafe.com.